the cloud. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to the Lisa less Zalise elevation call. And
Say that fast.
I did not plan it to say it that way, but that's a mouthful. The Lisa less Zalise elevation call. So, but I tell you, she is here. She is, as you guys imagine, she is in here in spirit 100%. She sent me some notes that she wanted me to pass on to y'all.
Yay.
So we'll see how this goes tonight. I do have some normal things that I want to do because we do have some recognition. Uh, However, I do notice that the recognition for last month and this month, not entirely, but a large portion of it, is the people who are in Mexico right now at the incentive trip. So that should be telling to all of us that the people who end up on incentive trips are the people who are on these leaderboards. So
Mhm.
anyway, so let's go ahead and do what we normally do, which is let's recognize some folks. So I'm going to go ahead and recognize this month, and then we'll jump into last month. So far, even though it's only 4 days this month, Linda Painter, who has made her way regularly onto the leaderboard in the last several months, who lives in Springdale, Arkansas, is number 4 on the leaderboard for enrollments this month. And
Wow.
so,
Yay.
yeah, let's give her a hand. Now she is actually rooming with Lisa down there. She didn't take my place because she did earn it, but they're rooming together. So they're in the flying together. So anyway, that's Linda. And then on the personal volume board so far this month, we have 4 folks. Wendy Berman out in California, John and Pat Poole. I see Pat on here on the personal volume at number 14. The Todds, who are in Mexico as well, are at number 13. And then Brett Sauter out of Ohio is at number 8. And so that's all this month of February. Last month, though, there was an explosion, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, but there was an explosion in Latin America on a volume, on personal enrollment volume, personal enrollments. And so because of that, when you look at the board, our team, who's normally up to toward the top, has really dropped to the bottom of the board.
Oh,
We're still got a few folks on it, but it's not that we've had less activity. It's that there's some explosive growth going on in Latin America. And so anyway, last month on the enrollment in January, um, the Todd, Steve and Jenny Todd, ended the month at number 19. Kelly Etzel was at number 21. Kelly's out of Joplin, Missouri. She's really new to the team, sponsored by Linda Painter in that group. And then Hal and Lisa, we ended up at number 22. And we did have a pretty decent month as far as enrollments go. I just tell you personally, I don't talk about other people's things on this, but it wasn't that we had an insignificant enrollment month. We hit the mark to earn the bonuses. So we did over $499 worth of new enrollments last month, which is kind of the target for us each month, a minimum of $499 in new enrollments. So doing that put us at number 22. So that tells you that there's a lot of volume ahead of us on the enrollment. So some things are happening, and we're going to talk a little bit about that on this call tonight. You'll hear more about that if you're on the Freedom Call tomorrow night, because myself, Carrie Suits, and who's another presidential ambassador, her and Shane, and then Judy Clancy, who's one of the classiest people in the world. She's just absolutely just a gracious, classy lady who's been with Inzali. She's a regional or national, I'm not sure. Anyway, she's on another organization, but we're all going to do the National Freedom Call. The 3 of us are kind of going to host it. We hope we get some support, you might say, from support. But anyway, okay, let's see. I need to ask, I think it's Karen. Can you mute your, there we go. I'm watching TV or hearing your TV with you. Good to see you. You got your hair cut or something, Karen. You look different. You got your hair cut or something.
No, I'm getting a cut tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let's see. We got several people getting on here, and I'm seeing everybody. So glad to have all of you. Is there anyone fairly new to this elevation call? If you are, just unmute yourself. Tell us who you are and where you're calling in from. Anybody? There's Kathy Talbot.
Hey.
Hey, anybody else? No. Okay, very good.
I see Xavier.
There's
He's
Xavier
joined us
coming
there at
on.
the
Good
end
to
of the
see
month.
him. He's not brand new. I'm seeing mostly his light though. I've got to see his face here in a second. Good to see him. Okay. All right. So here's kind of what I want to. We'll have some discussion after a while if y'all want to on topic, and then we'll see if there's anybody that has any off topic things that you want to ask about. Um, let's see. I'm not I'm not good at operating this and doing. There we go. That's what I need to do. Now I see everybody. So here's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm actually excited about talking about it, but at the same time, what I want you guys to know is that Lisa and I have had a lot of serious conversations going into 24 about the state of business within Zalise as we know it. And so Lisa and I, as many of you know, she um, discovered Zalise, the business of Zalise, the product way back in 2017. And in 17, there was a real focus with Zalise by the people who got involved. Everybody who came into Zalise at that time was focused on building business. No one came in as a quote product user. And as a result of that, a lot of people over a 2 year period of time. I came in late 2018, and so from Lisa coming in 17, me coming into Zalise in 18 under her mentorship. So for those 2 years from when she started to really the end of 19, going into hitting the pandemic, the whole focus was on helping people earn income in significant ways. And the people defined significant for them, whatever significant was. Uh, and so that was our focus. That's how we built the business. That's how we shared the business. We all focused on expanding products and sharing products and educating. And the more products we got, the more education we had to do, the greater understanding we had to have of these multiple lines of products. And then they brought in vitamins to add to that. And we thought that we were just building this big store, but the focus was on helping people understand and developing a mindset of business. So the breakdown was Zalise focused on the development of products, making sure that those products were as top quality, effective, and so forth. And we in the field, our role was to develop business, our own personal business, and help other people develop business. And here's what happened. At the same time as the pandemic hit, Zalise continued to develop products, and we discontinued developing business one on one and sharing the business in large part for two reasons. One is the obvious, and that was the pandemic stopped us from doing the business the way we were doing it. So we went to Zoom, and so we have Zoom and so forth, but it it took us backwards. It took us backwards. And so we did the best we could, and Zalise continued to deliver more and more products, tried to develop strategies of communication so that we could, communicate the message of Zalise. But what happened is we get way out of balance with product health benefits to the individual. And we're getting way behind on educating and helping people really generate income. So it's not that we got away from that, it's just we got behind. And so um, now here's what's happened. Here we are in the beginning of 2024. There are some people in Latin America who are coming into Zalise for the first time, and they have a limited number of products, very limited number of products. And yet they're focused on building business, and they're actually like making money, like seriously making money. And so I think this trip that Lisa went on and is on right now, for all of the people, or the for the few people that are there from the United States, every single one of them is looking around, and you guys can see it if you followed it. And what you're seeing, it is full of the Latin American people from all over Latin America. And there are a number of people down there who don't know any better other than kind of where Lisa was in 2017, where I was in 2018. And that was with these few products. Their focus was on, how do we build the business? What's the model? What do we do? And so we're actually now going back and relearning, or being reminded that the way to build this business is the way we began it in the first place. And that is, you actually set your mind. Your mind is, we have great products, but these products will not get to market and will not impact people's lives, and certainly won't change my financial position um, without focusing and having a mindset of business. And so it doesn't mean that you're not running a major corporation. You're not running even anything as complicated as what I used to have, which was a real estate company that had other agents who have legal contracts and all that kind of thing that you have to deal with an office and utility expenses and so forth like that, and have to keep your license renewed and all that kind of thing. It's not that complicated. It's not even, I think, as complicated as what I did in remodel and reconstruction, where I was always, meeting new people and selling them on me, and then having to physically show up and be there every day and get the job done and not get paid till the job was done. It's not even that complicated. What the people in Peru and in Latin America are doing is they're following Bo's advice. So I want to just see, I don't know if not everybody's on the screen, but give me a thumbs up, give me some indication if you have watched Bo's training and you've heard about enroll three golds, and then help someone of those three enroll three golds. Raise your hand or give me a thumbs up or something. Okay. Pretty much everyone who's been on that, or either live or watched a video of that, you've heard it in some way. So simply what's happened is that there are people in Peru, mainly a couple of women that started this way. They just believed him. They just believed him. They don't have a lot of products, and they said, that makes sense. If you are going to build a business, you spend enough money to get a few products in this industry, and then you go out and share the business model with people, as opposed to focusing on starting people with products. We're not doing away with the idea of VIPs. We're still going to continue to value the VIP customer that simply has no interest in earning income. None. They just want to improve their health. But we got so, I believe, out of balance, focused on just helping people with products, that we really haven't learned and set our mind and made the decision that I'm going to build business, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to set a goal to enroll three people who really each, I've got to find three that want to really earn income and learn how to do that with me. And you partner with those people. So, that's how I started. That's how Lisa started. That's how many of the people who are at presidential and national ambassador. Matter of fact, I would say every single one of the national ambassadors, presidentials, even regionals, and maybe even the active areas within Zalise right now, every single one of them every single one of us, started our business with the mindset and have continued it to say, this is a business for me. I'm going to help a lot of people. But if I don't earn income and do the things that cause me to earn income that meet my goals financially, then I don't have a business. I have something else. I have an opportunity to help people. I have an opportunity to be a part of a group of people that I love. I can grow personally. I can enjoy this family of Zalees. I can improve my health or my family members' health. Um, but without a real like hardcore decision that you have to renew over and over and over again and say, I am going to do this. I'm going to do it at the level Bo's talking about. I'm going to do it at the level that Hal and Lisa, um, and we are having, honestly, I can tell you that this year, what we're realizing is that we have to almost for ourselves have the mindset of finding people who want to build business, and they may not come in at gold from day one, but we're going to help them if they want to get to gold as quickly as possible. When I say gold, I mean that's the highest pay level. That's you can't in Zalees, you can't earn a Jeep without being gold. Eventually, you got to get to gold. You can't maximize the compensation plans without getting to the gold enrollment level. Um, so Bo's teaching, and I take a breath when I say it. I'm just being honest with all of you that as in valuing where people are is what Lisa and I have promoted and will continue to do. Um, but we're at a time, all of us are at a time that we're really needing to listen to what is happening in the world and other people are doing it. So if other people are doing it, we have to ask ourselves the question, if they can do it, why can't I? And one of the reasons for that, I think, is that they don't know any better. They haven't been told, or they haven't been shown that they can't do it. And I think a lot of people get frustrated or have been around long enough and haven't seen significant income. Because I mean, where's these people making $3,000 and $4,000 a month? And it's because they're following this pattern of enroll 3 goals, help find one of those, at least one of those that wants to do and will do the same thing. And then your goal after that is to enroll at least one gold. Now you can do a lot of VIPs, you can do bronzes, you can help people more slowly, grow into their business if they want to do that. But in our pathways, have y'all heard us since July, um, with the advisory council and promoting pathways to freedom, we still value there's a pathway for VIP customers, people just want to use products. There is a pathway for people who have enjoyed and experienced and appreciated the products and they want to share with other people their experience. There's a pathway to encourage that. There's a pathway for people who just want to retail products, whether it's at trade shows, dog shows, retail stores, a doctor's office. And so we're building pathways for them. But right now, one of the things that we have to re-emphasize, Lisa and I are re-emphasizing, is the pathway for people to build income and earn a living, or earn retirement, or earn the things that can create and fulfill some of your dreams and goals. And so there's going to be a re-emphasis, a refocus. It's already happening. And Bo is helping us do that. Corporate is helping us do that. There are leaders in the business. I just got off an hour and a half call with Judy and Carrie, who are going to help me tomorrow night. And all three of us said the same thing. Everybody's saying the same thing. And that is that we love the products, but our emphasis has been mostly product supporting people, encouraging to build people to build the business, go out and meet new people and so forth. But I think the thing that we've been weak on is being strong on people setting a monthly goal of finding people who want to build business. And until we start doing that again, our business dollars um, will not grow and will not even get back to for many of you where they've been before, or for some of you for your first time. So there's going to be a lot more, teaching. You're going to hear about it, but it's really simple. And that is, our challenge to ourselves, to Lisa and I can tell you that we haven't had a month in a very, very, very long time where we enrolled 3 golds. So I know that when she gets back, though we have not said it, I know that between her getting in the Jeep at the airport and us getting to wherever we're going to eat, I'll be shocked, and y'all hold me to this. I'll be shocked if Lisa doesn't say to me, it's now or never for us. Like, we got to make this happen. Our runway for ourselves is shorter than it was 2 years ago, and the time is now. And we are seeing people build. So we're going to follow the goal of establishing a plan to enroll 3 golds and then a gold thereafter every month. And maybe every once in a while, because there's incentive or extra money on the table, we may do it again. But until we do it once, we can't do it again. And so the pattern is enroll 3 golds and find one of those golds who really wants to build business and who wants to set a goal of enrolling 3 golds themselves. All along the way, we're going to find people say, nope, can't do gold, but I'd love to be a VIP. Well, that's great. We got a place for that. That's awesome. But if someone says, I really need to earn income, how can I do that with this company? The answer is not going to be, we'll come in at VIP and wait 6 months and see how it goes. It's going to be, come in at gold. We'll help you do that. We'll put you on the phone with Hal and Lisa. They're our leaders. They can answer your questions. We're going to get you to the place where you can enroll 3 golds yourself. Back when I started, Stephen Thompson presented, come in at gold, enroll 4, help those 4 enroll 4, and then help those 4 enroll 4. How many of y'all were around for that? Raise your hand and have heard that before. Okay, several of you. And so we're not trying to back off of that, but here's what's cool. Since Bo has come, since Luis has come, Christy, and now Angie as the CEO, we can make more money with enrolling the pattern of 3 and 1 than what Stephen was paying with 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. I'm not sure that you're catching that, but for the efforts that it takes, they're paying more for the activity of the mindset of building, so that when we do the things that cause us to get in front of people who want to earn income and we enroll them and engage them with us, the company is now paying us more to do that. So that's what the people in Peru realized, was that if I do this, I can make money. And guess what? That's what they've done. And those people aren't even hitting the ranks. They're just enrolling people and they're raising in the ranks, but they're demonstrating that you can make money with Zalise by following this pattern. So we're going to be talking more about that. I can tell you that our conversations are going to be turned more toward this. And we're going to continue to support the people whose focus is on sharing and giving products away and wanting to, eventually build and have reasons why they can't build. We're still going to give care and attention to those people, but our time and energy is going to be focused primarily on those that are building. And so we have to do that. And so we would assume everybody on this call, you wouldn't be on this call. Well, I say you wouldn't. I would say most people are on this call because they really do want to earn income and understand how to do that and help other people do the same thing. There could be people who are still just kind of checking it out, trying to decide. And I would say there are people, as is the nature of all humans, just want to be a part of something and just keep up with it. And that's fine too. But our attention is on building. And so um anyway, I want to encourage you with that. And so let's do this. I'm going to just not stop the recording, but I'm going to stop my part of what I wanted to share with you all tonight, and to see if you can, one by one, if you have any questions or comments, um, you know, uh, about what we've talked about. So I do want to shout out to one person though. I want to shout out to Linda Joyner. Linda and I don't talk a lot because she's talking to Lisa all the time. But Linda Joyner, I got to know her just a little bit in Dallas. She had just joined the team, sponsored by Susan Everett. We had met Linda on one visit down there months and months ago before she joined the team, but or maybe she was just using product. But Linda is doing what it takes to build business. She's getting like disappointed and encouraged and disappointed and frustrated and encouraged and excited and confused, and but she's in action, and she is looking for people who are, one, look, she needing products, but she has the mindset of, I'm looking for at least one business partner that I can run with, that's on my team that I've recruited, because she has a partner in her sponsor and she has a partner in us, but she doesn't earn anything from us. She needs a partner that, and she understands that. And so I just want to shout out to you, Linda, because I have been around Lisa when you've contacted her, you've called her. I've been, around her, and you're asking the questions, you're doing the things. So I just want to shout out to you. You're welcome to share, take a minute if you want. I don't know if you want to, but would love to have you just share a little bit about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Well, thank you, Hal, for that. I appreciate the kudos or encouragement. Yes, a lot of times it can be discouraging. Well, I haven't gotten to the total discouragement part because I came into it understanding that I'm gonna go through those no's, but I am looking for that one yes that can make a difference. Someone who really wants to make money, not just a few dollars, but really make money and willing to do the work. So I do my part, and I have those that I've reached out, I do share with them uh, that they don't have to do it alone, and that we're all here for them to help them through it. So I'm gonna stick with it. I got one more that's coming up, and so she tried the topical gel, and she said, "Oh, those products really work. My arm was hurting real bad, and I put that topical gel on it, and within 30 minutes, all the pain was gone. So that's what I needed." So she's in it, but she hadn't been working regularly for a while, but now she's back to working. So I think, she may be, I don't know. I don't assume anything. I don't take anything for granted, and I keep talking to other people. So I know that's the name of the game, the numbers thing. You have to keep talking to people, find out what they want, and be willing to help them to get what they want in order for you to get what you want. I
That's
understand.
that's great. So let me ask you this. I think I heard you say you're really looking for that one that will make a difference for you to run with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who you're really looking for. That's what you have your
Mm-hmm.
mind on. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
and Lisa talk about. You've accepted that as like your first and highest need for you, for your business. But at the same time, it sounds to me like you're still at the same time helping people with rubbing topical on their elbow. You're still helping people have a product experience. And maybe one of those people turns into that person, that business person. But it sounds to me like you really understand, I got to build this as a business. I'm looking for
Mm-hmm.
business builders as
Mm-hmm.
well as the product users.
Right. And I think actually in my mind, it's all about helping people. That's my goal. How can I help people? But the help means I have to find out what it is they need in order to really help them, you know? Yeah, making income, but sustainable income, income that keeps coming, you know, and how do I help people do that? So I think my part is the struggle is finding the right dialogue or the right conversation starter to really find that person without saying too much before they really get in to know. So I send information and I'm just trying to find. I haven't found my what I call my niche. I haven't found that thing that makes me run, you know. Although I'm doing what I know to do, I still haven't found that one thing. I did make me a list of things I would say to a new prospect, and I'm going to be using it. So I'll just keep on doing it until it works.
That's great. Just keep building that list. Keep building the list. Okay. So I did wanted to shout out to her. And hey, Lisa didn't put me up to that. That was me, 100%.
Thank you.
Um, so any comments, questions? I'm looking on my phone to see if I got any notes from Lisa that I'm supposed to pass on.
I
Uh,
want to tell you how, thank you for this call. I've gotten extremely discouraged between getting COVID more times than I can count right now, and the flu, and dealing with other things and other people being sick, and then people dropping off my team. It's been very discouraging where I haven't been able to get out like I wanted to, planned to, and started to. And I don't know how to explain very well, but you've been very encouraging today, and I want to thank you.
well, good. That's good, Mary. You know what? Thank you for saying that. And you know, I sometimes I come on sometimes I come on pretty strong. Oh, thank you, Linda, for that acknowledgement. Some of y'all are being I see another head bobbing, Lorena. Let's see who else. Oh,
It's all
Christina.
right.
Okay, so even like on our leadership calls with corporate, with like the other leaders, I do the same thing.
Mhm.
Christina, you would vouch for that, wouldn't you? Because you've been on some of those calls. I know that's one my personality, but I think it's also part of what I'm supposed to do. Like, you know, if we don't call people up to a higher place and challenge them, who's going to do it? You know, really. And I appreciate Mary taking what I've said tonight, even with her discouragement that she's had and the loss of other people on her team. We've all experienced that. There's not anybody who's been as least and added people and didn't lose people. Most of us have probably, I mean, it's just the nature of the business. Oftentimes you'll see more depletion than you'll see adding. And there are times when you can't add enough to keep up, especially the more people you have on your team, like Hal and Lisa. I mean, you know, and Zalise as a whole over the last 4 years, Zalise as a whole, because of just the nature of people and the nature of the business and the nature of things in the world, Zalise has lost way more than they've added. But that's every business like this, every business like this. And um, I would say might even be true with Verizon and AT&T and T and some of those other more traditional businesses. They go through seasons of growth for different reasons and they lose more customers than they gain for seasons of time. And so we've all been through that. But when I say, you know, it's good to help people with their health because that's the products that we have. But if you don't look at it as a business, the sustainability, the immediate and long-term sustainability of any business is production, not the greatness of the product. You can have the greatest product in the world, miracle, cures, whatever. And if you're not expanding that into other people who can expand it with you, the business is not sustainable. And or it will move to people who will run with the idea of we can take this product and change the world. And that's what's happening in Latin America. And I'm not saying tonight, go sponsor people in Latin America. What I'm saying is there are people who don't know any different, who haven't, who don't know that they can't do it. It's like in that little book that I've shared that some of y'all are reading, the James Allen book, um, Daily Readings with James Allen or whatever, who wrote As a Man Thinketh. They tell the story of the young man who was late to class. Have y'all heard me tell this? He was late to math class in college. And he wasn't late, he missed a day. And he came and he saw on the board the next day these two assignments. He thought they were assignments on the board. And so he wrote them down, these two math problems. He wrote them down. And then over the weekend, he did the homework that he thought was homework assignment, turned them in the following day. The next day, the professor came to him and said, you solved two unsolvable problems, two mathematical mysteries. You solved both of them. And he said, I just did the assignment. He said, no, you missed the day that I talked about these two unsolvable math equations. What you wrote down, you thought was homework to be done over the weekend. But when I shared with all the other students, what I told them was these are unsolvable. And you didn't know that they were, quote, unsolvable. So what you've done is spent the weekend solving something. So he didn't know that they weren't solvable. So we solved them. And so many people get into a business like this and they try and they try and they have to grow personally, and they do grow personally. But what they're stuck with is the mindset that still seems impossible to them to achieve. So their thinking is around what's possible or impossible rather than just doing the work. And so what we're seeing in Latin America on the leaderboard for the last few months is a growing group of people who don't know they can't do it. So our hope is that we can learn from them. And I think when Lisa comes back and shares with some of you all individually, you may hear a change in her because she wants you to be able to achieve the things that you've not been able to achieve and to find people who are wanting the possibility. And I promise you this, unless you spoil them, like, oh, spoil, that's probably not the right word. Well, maybe spoil is. You bring some business people in and get them around people who believe that they can do it and that we can do it, they may show you that it can be done. So, all right, any other comments?
Well, Hal, I was going to tell you, we had about a 40-minute drive to a no-show the other week, but you know what? We sat there and we turned it from a no-show to a date for Lori and I. We shared ice cream and a shake, and you know, we had a good time with it. You know, so that was good. You know, we turned a negative into a positive.
So
So
here's what
in
I
fact,
hear. Here's what I hear, and I knew about that because you guys called us. You called me right when that happened.
oh
But what
yeah,
I know is that you drove 40 minutes to an appointment.
hmm
The way you just said it is you drove 40 minutes to a no-show and you turned it into a date. What I say is you drove 40 minutes to an appointment that you made. And what I knew was that you were driving to what you thought was a business builder appointment. That's what
yes,
you told me because you said, hey, are you available? I think it was last Saturday.
right,
Yeah.
Sunday.
And you Sunday, you texted and said, are you available at 4:30? And I'm like, dang, Gene, don't you know the Kansas City Chiefs are playing at 4:30?
Who?
The Chiefs.
Who are they?
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, I'm like, absolutely. One of the two of us will be available. So at 4:30, wife get a text says, well, we drove, I think you said 50 minutes for a
Yeah, I
no-show.
was
Anyway,
mistaken.
yeah, 50 minutes for a no-show. And I'm like, good job, Gene. That's great. And he goes, well, I'm going to take Lori on a date while we're here. And I'm like, that's great. The fact that you drove 50 minutes for a business person no show because the person told you they wanted to earn income and they're looking for other income, and you were going to
Right.
show them what we do to earn income. You
Mhm.
drove 50 minutes and you said, we'll make something good out of this. We'll turn it into a date.
Yep.
It's that kind of attitude. And then here you are this week. It's that kind of attitude that says, I'm going to find my three goals, one at a
Mhm.
time. I'm going to find them.
Yeah.
And so
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say, Luis is helping.
You're not doing this alone, in other words, right?
Exactly. We're not. We have
Mhm.
support. If not you and Lisa, we have, Luis, he's been helping. So we've got we've got support. Questions
Did,
being answered. Michael's been bending over backwards at Zalise for us, helping get everything lined out and stuff. So yeah, we've got the support. I can't say enough about Zalise and the people that are,
didn't you
been
also,
helping.
was it you guys that Luis also on another, didn't he do another call with you with some people who speak
Yeah,
Spanish? That was
yeah,
a totally
that was
different deal, right?
right. Yeah, that was Friday night.
So did Luis explain to them how focus on products or business?
Business.
Okay. And so that was two appointments that you guys have made in the last week around business builders, right?
Correct.
Which is a big shift for you, wouldn't you say, over the last year?
Yeah, we're used to giving products away.
You're telling on your wife right
No, I'm guilty as well.
now. Okay. All right.
It's
It is what it is. And, I try and, I get it. I get both ways, but,
Well,
yeah,
we'll never
this,
not. Here's the thing. I just
I'll
want to
never.
let you know our products are too good. And the new products that are coming are going to be too good for us to not have products that are going to change people's lives.
Yeah,
We
agreed.
don't have to focus on products. Because they're too easily shared when we just tell our stories for product use. Where our challenge is for people who've never successfully built a business to truly learn a pattern of business building, generating income outside of being an employee. Almost every person on this call at some primary level has been paid to simply show up at a job and do your job. And you've been provided insurance, you've been provided benefits, you've done your job, you got educated for it, you developed your skill set, you put out your resume, you got hired. But almost everybody who's in Zalise and on our team, there's very, very, very few people who have developed the skill set in your adult life to know the mindset and the skill set to build a business. And until you adopt the mindset that I have to learn how to do this, and I'm going to learn how to do this, and I'm going to learn from Hal and Lisa and Bo and those who are trying to teach us to change our mindset and to make decisions that are different than an employee mindset, then you can't be successful. And so when I see people doing things like driving 50 minutes to have a business presentation and not 100% comfortable with the whole idea, right, Gene?
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
getting better.
you're getting better. But a year
Every
ago, you
yeah.
wouldn't have done that.
No, hell no.
No way. Hell no. That's what you said.
Right.
And I'm just saying that's what it takes because Gene, you have been an employee your whole life.
Yeah.
Except what I've seen you do is go out and do side gigs
Gigs.
for yourself, like cleaning out houses and turning what you find into sales online and to making extra money doing here and doing there. The only problem is it still requires you 100% of the time to show up for that to happen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you can't multiply yourself unless you learn how to do a business like this. And the only way a business like this works is you bring people in at gold or get them to gold as quickly as possible.
Right.
And so as you're learning how to do that, that will help you build your business. and then you will help them do that. And so it takes these kinds of, I'm telling you what's happened this week for Lisa. I think she's going to come back a different person. She could have gone to Dallas for another Zalise event. They could have launched a product and it would be an initial excitement. But I don't know that it'd been life changing. I think my wife is going to come back from this trip and realize that we got to focus on building business again, like she did when she was living in a little apartment with her and her son. And she really had no financial way to make things happen 7 years ago. And she made the decision, I'm going to build this as a business. And she's done it. And it's time, I think she's saying it's time again for us to have that mindset, like in a totally different way. And I don't know that she may get it all onto me. Hal, I can't believe that. I listened to that recording. I can't believe you said what you said. But, I'm taking some liberty because I didn't get to hang out on the beach, or I didn't choose to go hang out on the beach. So, all right, other comments?
My
Anyone?
question to you, Hal, you're speaking out about building the business. So what is your main approach, or what is your main advice or whatever in building that business? I understand we have products. We're looking for people who want to generate income, but the income is going to be based on somebody buying those products eventually. So what is your main, I guess, advice as to how you go about when you say focusing on people who can come in at gold or whatever? How do you do that? How do you do that? Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great question, Linda. So what I will do this week, Lisa and I will do this, and we're going to set a goal. And I would imagine how it'll go for me is how it's gone before. I've made a decision that I'm going to find 3 business builders, and I'm going to have a goal for this month between Lisa and I to set the pace for ourselves and for other people. I've made the decision. So that's where it starts. I have to make that decision and set that personal goal. So to be clear, that's what I have to do. Now, why would I do that? I would do that because I know that's what the next person who's going to build is going to need to do. All right. So I set that goal. And then what am I looking for? I'm looking for someone who either already has built business, has generated extra income, is an entrepreneur, who is in Bo's words, kind of a go-getter type person. That person is someone who is always looking. This is easy pickings to have this conversation. If I say to someone, hey, do you ever look at other ways other than what you're doing right now to earn any kind of income of any kind? Do you look for opportunities? Now, I'll throw in my background. I'll say, like I've done in real estate, I've done several things. Some have worked and some haven't. Do you ever look at things? That's how I lead, because I'm looking for a person who is not looking to fix their knee today or their back or their headaches. When I saw this as a business, I had horrible back. I was not able to walk my dog and all those things. But I found that the products worked, but what I was primarily looking for was a way to generate income. That's what I was looking for. So I'm looking for someone like me that was looking for a way to generate income. So I just said, would you be willing to have a conversation with me? Let's sit down. And I would prefer to sit down and talk with them. Okay, let's say they say yes. I'm going to set an appointment. I'm going to say, I've got Tuesday. I'll pull out my phone. I'll look at my phone and I'm looking at my calendar. I already know what's on my calendar for the most part. And I'm going to say, I've got Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or Thursday at 4. Which of those two works best for you to get together? If they say, well, I'm out of town this week, I'm going to say, that's fine. Do you want to get together the next week? If so, which day of the week next week is better? So I set an appointment and I'll say, do you want to get together at Starbucks or Briar Rose Bakery? And I'm going to set a place close to me if they're in town. So let's say it's going to be at 4 o'clock on Thursday. So I'm going to text them the day before and say, hey, still on for tomorrow afternoon at 4. Looking forward to seeing you. If they say, what's it about? I'm going to send them that short little, I'll send them a little short video, but most of the time I'm not going to send them anything. I said, that's what we're getting together for. It'll take about 30 minutes. And I'm not setting the clock for them. I'm setting the clock for me. So I'm going to go and I'm going to make sure that in those 30 minutes that I get to share with them that I'm working with a company that's has some of the best nutritional products, health and wellness products in the world. And they've been in business since 2015. And when we get together, I'm going to share with them my experience with the product, but I'm going to tell them I've had a great experience with the products. I know thousands of people that have, but I'm here to share with you the opportunity to earn income. And because Lisa and I have earned the income, I'll share our story, our financial story. None of y'all have that. So you share our story. You don't share your story, you share our story. You say, I'm working with Hal and Lisa Henson. You don't know them. They're in Arkansas. Lisa started in Indiana. She was single. These products changed her son's life. They've generated life-changing income. This is their primary source of income. They've done really well. They're my mentor. I'm giving you the opportunity to meet them, but I'm going to share with you the basics. We help people get on these products. We set them up at wholesale. We help educate them, navigate them. I can send you some information, put you on a 3-way call. I am literally going over right now in a 2 or 3 or 4 minute period of time of what I would say to someone just like this. I don't try to sit down with them and explain to them the entire endocannabinoid system, tell them about the CB1, CB2 receptors. I don't do that when I'm having a business conversation. I don't go into the deep dive of the science. I don't make sure they understand about all the receptors and all the CBD and all the CBG. I don't do that. I talk about this basic line of products and say, this is what we do. We set people up to use the products, order for themselves, and we often find people who want to earn income, either small or large. Here's what small looks like. They want to make enough money to pay for their products. That's a pretty good deal with products that are life-changing. But then there are some people who are maybe like you, who have a need or desire to generate significant income through a company that pays us to share and educate people about these products. And it usually, and I will tell you that what my experience has been, they'll say, well, tell me a little bit more about the products. And so what do I do? Susan Everett, what do you think I would do if they say, tell me a little bit more about the products? Yeah, you do. What would I do if someone says, well, tell me a little bit more about your products?
Hal, you would have them talk to Lisa.
I would have them talk to Lisa, but first I would tell them a little bit more about the products. But I would emphasize that I would tell them a little bit more about the products, just a little bit. I would tell them more about my story and what the products did for me, especially the CBD. Very little. And I would say, I started taking this product. My sister shared it with me. It was just one little bottle. I wasn't playing golf. I wasn't walking my dog. I was down on my back. I'd been out of work for 4 months. This was in the end of 2018. And literally, I started sleeping better. I could walk my dog. I'm playing golf again. It's changed my life. And I've seen a lot of people, it changed all kinds of things for them. There's a whole deep dive science about it. We can talk about that later. But what it did for me was it helped. I sold my business. I didn't have to keep doing the things that I was doing that was tearing my body apart. And we built a very significant income. Lisa had already done that by herself. So the two of us together started helping people all over the country. And we were blowing and going until the pandemic hit. And then everything slowed down. But here's what's really cool. That pandemic started in March of 2020. I didn't have to get another job, and neither did Lisa. our income is still sustainable based upon the fact that these products change people's lives. And people are always looking for products that change people's lives. What we're looking for is people to share that message and to earn income. Something like that. So you can't say that. Most of you can't say that. So what you have to do is share the products briefly and say, I want to introduce you to the people who are helping us all earn income. And let's have a business conversation with those people. And that would be us. For each of you, that would be how, Lisa. If you text me or you text Lisa and say, I've got someone who's really, really interested, not just that they need income, but they really want to know how to earn income. Let's set up a time and talk. Or this is a very successful business person. Or this is an entrepreneur. This is a really sharp person. They want to know how to earn income with Zalise. Over the last 5 years, I can tell you, we don't get many of those texts. We don't get many of those calls. What we get is, hey, help explain this to this person how the endocannabinoid system works. Help me explain how CBD and CBG are different. Help me understand why we don't have R&R anymore. Help me understand all these product things. And what I'm telling all of you is there is a need for each of us to have a shift into a mindset about connecting about business and how to build the business, as along with our continued product conversations. So Lisa, it is 5 till 8, 3 till 8. And Lisa just texted me and said, how did the call go? So anyway, any other comments before we wrap it up? Okay. So here's what I would encourage each of you to do, especially those of you who have been in a lot more conversation with Lisa than you have been with me. Y'all can call in sometime when she gets back after tomorrow. Tell her what you think. Say, Lisa, you need to make Hal an extra cake or cookies for that great call, or you need to bring out your switches and whoop him a little bit, because whatever. So anyway. All right, guys. Well, I hope y'all will be on the call tomorrow night. I know Judy and Carrie and I you're gonna hear some of the same stuff tomorrow night. But you're gonna hear it from them as well. So anyway. All right. Well, y'all have a good night, and thanks for being on our call tonight.
All
Thank
right,
you,
good night.
Hal.
Thanks, Hal. Good night.
Oh, I'm getting
Good
some
night,
hearts.
everyone.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you.
Thanks,
Love
Al.
y'all. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. Bye
Hey,
bye.
you too.